I don't know if you've seen any of this or you know about this, but I've talked about this in the past about Operation Mockingbird and how the CIA infiltrated our media. This is all based on them wanting to do operations and being able to control the narrative and control the general public. And that is what has happened in our world over the past 30, 40 years, that we've been sold the narrative, and so many of us have woken up to it and seen that it's all been one big lie. And this is the proof of what has happened. And if you have anyone who doubts what has happened, show them this video, okay? If anyone who's paying attention sees that the media has been wrong over and over and over, and they stick to a story no matter how many times they're wrong, we see things with our own eyes and they tell us it's not happening. So you have to put some substance into this video I'm about to show you and say, wow, like there's really some substance to this. Anyway, it's been proven in hearings that this is true anyway, by the way, but there's people who will deny this is actually going on today still. So just take a quick look at this video and kind of observe it and say, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. So anyway, I just wanted you to take a quick look at this, and if you agree with what's going on in this video, share this, show to your friends, show to people who are on the cusp, who are like, wow, something's really going on in this country, but I can't pinpoint it. Being able to pinpoint it is show you that we are being lied to on a daily basis, that the media is fake news. So anyway, check it out and see for yourself.
Since the invention of the printing press, there's been a battle to control disseminated information. In the early 1900s, oil tycoon John D. Rockefeller took control of every newspaper and news editor of his era. He became America's first billionaire, paving the way for the power-hungry ever since. Thus began the gold rush for the modern world's most precious resource, the narrative.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
During a Senate committee investigation, it was revealed that the CIA had been conducting a covert operation to infiltrate and control U.S. media. They called it Operation Mockingbird.
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Over 3,000 CIA contracted and trained operatives were placed in key positions within top media outlets. Posing as editors and journalists, these well-paid actors never dared to question the effect of their lives on the world beyond their cozy studio.
How often does the CIA manipulate the media in this way?
It goes beyond your wildest imagination. Setting up student organizations so they could draw radical students in. 5,000 university professors co-opted to help the CIA manipulate people's minds. Journalists in the U.S., including big-name journalists, co-opted to function routinely to help the CIA put out stories and biases to the world.
As this 1952 CIA memo says, the aim is controlling an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will.
It's a great brainwashing process to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country.
Would you say that continues today?
Well, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations, I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
So how do we know that Operation Mockingbird still isn't in effect? Well, we don't.
It was the Telecommunications Act of 1996 that opened the door for predatory corporations to monopolize the industries of print and broadcast.
This bill protects consumers against monopolies. It guarantees the diversity of voices.
Today, a handful of corporate empires own and control the vast majority of everything you read, hear, and watch. From the biggest movie studios, television and radio networks, newspapers and magazines, to the vast universe of internet news and entertainment sites.
Amazon has transformed its operations in response to COVID-19 to protect employees and keep packages flowing.
The company is keeping its employees safe and healthy while still delivering those packages to your doorstep.
The company is keeping its employees safe.
Keeping its employees safe.
The company is keeping its employees safe.
Millions of Americans staying at home.
Millions of Americans staying at home.
And that is how it works. It's like a house of mirrors, where you're seeing the same thing over and over and over again, except it's distorted.
There's an industry that is paid to go after and target journalists, whistleblowers, and inundate our consciousness and the images we see to try to ruin, destroy, or smear the idea that they don't like or the person who's delivering it.
You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press, so they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Welcome back, everybody.
News personalities are not the only high-paid actors to serve the propaganda machine. Most late-night talk shows are owned by the same corporate overlords, and thus follow the same script, only laced with a laugh.
Our main story tonight concerns conspiracy theories.
Last Week Tonight with John Oliver featured a skit entitled Coronavirus Conspiracy Theories.
Like the claim that the moon landing was faked.
First thing to note here is that Mr. Oliver opens with commentary about conspiracy theories that are completely unrelated to coronavirus. This is a standard tactic used by propagandists to set a tone so that anything that follows will be seen through the lens of absurdity.
Plandemic, a pseudo-documentary filled with a hodgepodge of conspiracy theories.
Mr. Oliver then does his best to debunk Dr. Judy's claim that she was arrested but never charged with a crime.
She was absolutely criminally charged.
This was not an oversight, but a blatant lie. Prior to the taping of this episode, Mr. Oliver had the official arrest documents that clearly prove that Dr. Judy was never charged with a crime. Mr. Oliver then attempts to debunk the idea that a beach, aka nature, holds any value in boosting our body's natural immune system. Instead of challenging the point with science, he kills it with a smear.
Everything that you just said is insane.
Television is not the truth. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
So let me ask you a question. Knowing what you know now, seeing what you've seen over the last 6-7 years, do you honestly believe anything has changed? In fact, I think, in my personal opinion, it's gotten worse. They send these operatives into schools, higher education. They're working on social media, as you can see. They are fact checkers. It's everything that right now that we see that is attacking the information, that is putting people on censorship. It's all worked together to keep the truth away from us. How do we fix this? I honestly don't know. These are very powerful people. This is a very powerful entity that has been ingrained in our life and ingrained in our minds for so many years. So how do we fix this? We fix it by doing our best to get people into places and in government that will decide that enough is enough and they want to change this stuff. That's the only way we can change it. Will we be able to change it? That's a different story. I don't know. Can we change it peacefully? I don't know. I hope we can. I don't want anyone to be discouraged not to go out and vote. This is one of the ways we have to do it. Go out, peacefully vote. Hopefully we can defeat the algorithm, because we all know what's going on with that. And pray that we can get these devils, these ministers of disinformation, people who want our minds. They want to enslave our minds. Years ago, war was taken through force. That's how they captured people. That's how they took over people. But throughout the years, you can't do that anymore. And I think they've learned that. And this is one of the ways you can do it. It was with propaganda, taking over our minds and controlling a population. It's much easier than going in there with guns blazing and try to just overtake and overwhelm a population, because I just don't think that will work anymore. So this is the new way they win wars, is to defeat your mind, get people to believe in what they're pushing. And our job as digital soldiers is to get the truth out there, to pass stuff like this around and let people see. There's people whose minds you will never change. There's people who are going to believe what these people are pushing out, but there are people who are willing to listen. There are people who see that something is wrong but don't know exactly what it is. And this is how you get them to change and see that what we're being fed is all one big lie. Anyway, thanks for watching. I thought this was a pretty good video that I'd share with you. And if you can, share it. Share with other people. Let them see what's happening. Let them see that our government is full of it, that people who in the media are full of it, that many of these people work for the government themselves. And this is what I've been trying to pass on to people and tell you, that we're living in a world of information, and information is the war. That's how you win this war. Not going out there guns blazing, because I just don't think that there's a way to win like that. This is how you do it. Winning back people's minds and letting people think for themselves. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.